the popcorn, grab a Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and nuts. There are topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhanded juice to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.
Welcome to the Ejectables. This is the show where movie enthusiasts Bill and Ian join forces with a weekly rotating guest to celebrate movies that we feel have been unjustly panned by the critics or sadly ignored and forgotten by audiences. This week's guest is one of the funniest people that I have ever met. Luckily, he supplies my wife and myself with our bi-weekly supply of alcohol. He is a book and movie enthusiast, but most importantly, his family owned a video store from 1983 into the 90s. Mike Kendall, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us, Mike.
My pleasure. I'm excited to do this.
So, Mike, how do you know Bill?
I know Bill from the show, actually. He's the greatest. I really prefer Bill to you.
Of course.
That is the most hurtful. I'm never going to get my bi-weekly supply. I'm going to get a weekly one.
Last week said the same thing.
What's that?
Bethany last week said the same thing.
She did.
Oh, did she?
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
I thought I was the original.
It was I agree. It was one of my poor picks, not one of my best picks. I did the remake of Total Recall.
Yeah.
Which I enjoyed when I first saw it, but upon rewatch, it's not as great. But I think there's still fun to be had.
No, there's no fun to be had.
Bethany was not incorrect. Unright. But anyway,
well,
Mike.
Bethany was right. How about that?
She was. Oh, there.
She was not incorrect.
She was not incorrect. Yes, it's not one of my better choices. Though it is no Greed. Or it's definitely no Weekend at Bernie's. Greedy.
Not
Greedy actually looks good next to Weekend at Bernie's because, man, that movie. Do you like that movie, Mike? Weekend at Bernie's?
Of course.
Yeah, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.
You're educated.
Watch it again, but I loved it.
He was young. He worked in a video store. He had to say it was good. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Just trying to make you really do like Bill more.
No. I have to glam up to Bill, I suppose.
So, what is the most ejectable movie that you've ever seen, Mike, that you would certainly not recommend ever on this show?
Oh God, I think it was called Me and Him. I think it had Griffin Dunn.
And the talking penis movie.
Yeah.
Oh, he thinks that's one of his worst movies too, right? I think I just read about that.
Yeah.
And I watched that at like 2:00 in the morning, and then the next night I made my really uptight dad and my mom watch it with me. And
why?
I was absolutely just horrified that I thought that this was an appropriate movie and that I had laughed so hard when I was watching it. I was ashamed of myself for watching it.
So that's a recommendation.
Yeah.
I got to see it. No, I've never.
I mean, how can you even find it?
Well, where there's a will, there's a way. We can do that.
Where there's a bill, there's a way is how we say it on this show. Yes. And what was the most popular movie that stands out in your head from your video store that you recommended to everyone and that you found that everyone seemed to agree with you on?
So when we had the video store, E.T. had just come out.
Never heard of it.
Raiders of the Lost Ark had just come out on VHS. So those were huge back in the day. And then I'm trying to think what was like Mad Max. So we only had like one copy of every movie because they were expensive back in the day.
They were like $100.
Yeah, retail wholesale they were like $65 to $80. Yes. So when Blockbuster came around, they were able to stock their shelves and they put us right out of business.
Bastards.
But I mean, when we started, it was like Mad Max, the original Mad Max, a couple years later, Ferris Bueller was huge. Revenge
Top
of the
Gun.
Top Gun. I can't remember if we had that at the time because that came out
What?
in 85 or 86. So yeah, so we must have had it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. We had everything that was in like the top 100 at the time, but
Okay.
you know, it was just a smattering of everything. Really, we had an adult section, so that was the most popular section.
Oh wow!
And that's where you met Bill.
I worked in a video store.
I did too.
And the one movie that people were like, "What the fuck is this?" is Bodies Rest in Motion.
Oh,
What? I don't know that.
It's with Bridget Fonda and Tim Roth and a smattering of a lot of famous people. People would be like, "This is the worst movie ever made."
Did they ask for a refund because it was
Yes.
bad?
we also had Faces of Death
Oh yeah.
wow.
and Ilsa She-Wolf of the SS. Those were hard to keep around.
Wow.
Yes, my mom watch Ilsa. So
I remember the Faces of Death on the shelf, but was for each of you, and I'll answer this as well. Was there a movie that you always recommended that was like what you thought was a hidden gem, and people would be like, "I want to see a movie that I don't know about, but you think is great"? Was there a movie you always recommended?
I always recommended at the time it was Birdie with
Timothy Hutton?
No, it was Nicolas Cage
Sean
and
Timothy Hutton. Yeah.
Matthew
Alan
Modine.
Parker. Yeah. Matthew Modine. Sorry.
Matthew Modine.
Same thing. They're the same person.
Yeah.
Close enough, yeah. Yeah, I recommended that one a lot. I thought it was great. Not very many people agreed with me at the time, and I haven't seen it in a long time, but I loved it at the time.
I think it's a well-respected film. Bill, was there one that you always recommended?
No, but what you did was you put on movies that had a lot of music.
Yes.
And so I've seen Wayne's World 2 like 150 times. Like you start picking movies to put on the multiple TVs that had music. And so even if it was bad, you still just listen to the music because after you can't really watch it when you're working.
Yeah.
We just have one
playing for the little kids in the store.
Yeah.
We just couldn't have movies with bad words. The ones I always recommended were like Heathers and Empire of the Sun.
I love Heathers and I love Empire of the Sun.
You should see. Actually, Bill did an interview of the writer of Heathers. Isn't that right, Bill?
Yeah, Danielle Waters on this
You
page.
should see it. It's on our page.
Really? Okay, I'll check that out.
Okay, so should we jump into your choice? What movie do you think should not be ejected?
I think the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford should never be ejected.
That's it. Even though, did it ever come to VHS?
Actually, I believe that did because I think I watched it with my mother on VHS at her house in Jacksonville. So because that's where I saw it for the very first time. Because I don't think she had moved up in the world to a DVD player. So I must have watched. Yeah, because I must have rented it from Blockbuster and gotten it on VHS to watch with her.
And why do you think this movie should not be ejected ever?
I just think absolutely
ever.
Well, I'd only seen it once. And it always struck me as a beautiful, lyrical movie. It just stuck with me just because of the images, just because of the cinematography. It just looked beautiful, and it was just this awesome display of ultimate failure, I think. It was just the collapse of hopes and dreams. That's the way I always interpreted it. And I've watched it over the last few days a bunch. And I think that I think my opinion of it was right at the time. And I think it still holds true that way.
Is it the acting in addition in the cinematography? Are those elements that you appreciate about it? Or is it mostly just the storytelling?
It's really the way that it's acted. I mean, Casey Affleck just comes across as this sad type of kid that's really worshiping a hero that finds out that that person is not at all who he thinks that he is. And it just basically, it kind of destroys him and his outlook. And I think it just looked beautiful. I mean, everything. There are so many shots of the clouds. There's so many shots of these wide open spaces. There's the train scene where it just comes in like this big old lumbering beast.
It's stunning.
looked beautiful.
Do you want to see a clip of this movie?
I would love to see a clip of this movie.
You have blue eyes. I have blue eyes. You're 5 feet 8 inches tall. I'm 5 feet 8 inches tall. Oh, me, I must have had a list as long as your nightshirt when I was 12.
I eat something.
That is such an uncomfortable scene.
That's really what makes Robert Ford do what he ultimately does, because he's worshipped Jesse James from his childhood up until that moment. And right when Jesse mocks him, he changes. I mean, right before a couple of scenes before that, Jesse is in the tub. Robert Ford sneaks up on him. They're talking, and Jesse says, I'm not sure if you want to be like me or you want to be me. And at that point, at that dinner table, Robert Ford doesn't want to be like Jesse James. I think he wants to be his own person at that point.
Ian says the same thing to his wife when he first met her.
You have blue eyes and I have green eyes, but I wish my eyes were blue like yours.
It's like a little kid worshiping his big brother. And it's just sad because it's all these little things that who cares? And even Jesse's like, ain't he something?
It's so creepy. And then that turn, that reaction that he has when he says that, it's just like,
yeah.
Wow.
And immediately Robert Ford gets up and walks up to his bedroom. He just leaves the room and goes to his room.
Now, you say this movie should not be ejected, but my question is to you, should it even be put in? Because I kind of find that the title is a spoiler. You know what's going to happen.
Well, right. But there are two words in that title that are questionable. Is it an assassination? And is Robert Ford a coward? Now, it's an assassination in that it's a murder. And all murders, or excuse me, all assassinations are murders.
Mm-hmm.
Jesse is a public figure. Jesse is well known, but it's not really what he wants to do. He wants to be Jesse, but it's not. Let me see if I can put this the right way. He wants.
But he doesn't necessarily do the killing. Isn't it a little unclear who does the killing?
Oh, no.
No, it's pretty clear.
Pretty clear. And actually, of all the shots, all the pistol shots,
yeah,
Robert Ford, who's the coward, is the only one that hits what he intends to hit. In 3 shots, 3 firings of his pistol,
yeah,
he shoots Dick Little in the back of the head. He shoots Jesse James in the back of the head, and he hits the floor in the floor. So 3 shots, 3 intended hits, all strike. Everybody else requires at least 2 shots to hit their targets.
Interesting. Okay.
Right.
It's also a famous book, and that's why they had to keep the title.
Yes, exactly.
Which is why like Me and Earl and Dying Girl, it's like they had to keep that terrible title because it's a famous book, and that's what sunk that movie as well.
Right.
Again, books ruin movies. Just kidding. Just kidding. We've discussed this, Mike.
Yeah, we have.
We have. The cinematography in this movie, though, is amazing. Is that Roger Deakins? Is that right?
Yes.
Roger Deakins, yes.
And the scene, like you said, with the train, stunning.
Absolutely stunning. It just comes in out of nothing, and it's just like nothing but light right there. And it's just this great lumbering beast. You just feel the presence of this train right there, even when it's dark.
This is, I would have to say, I thoroughly agree with you. I think this is a great pick for the show. It is stunning to look at. It is beautifully acted. I like that it takes its time. I tried to show this to my father-in-law last summer because he's like, I showed him another Western. He loved it. He's like, oh, do you have any more? And I put this on for him. He was asleep in 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the next day he's like, oh, that's not what I'm used to in a Western. I'm like, no, it's like a movie. It takes time. It's beautiful. It's something else.
Right. Yeah, it builds up to what it becomes.
It's far deeper. It's not an action movie. It has a couple of scenes with some action, but it is a character study. It's so good.
Exactly.
Bill, what did you think?
It's a masterpiece. One of the best movies of the 2000s. Yeah.
Totally agree. It bombed too, didn't it? It made 30 million to make.
And
It made 15.
Yeah.
That's crazy. It's so sad.
And his other movies of afterwards were not so awesome. You know?
Right.
Yeah. What followed up this one?
Killing Them Softly, which was horrible.
Such a disappointment. Yeah.
And then the Marilyn Monroe movie, I think, for Netflix. That was tough.
I think so.
I think that got viewership at least. This did not get viewership, and it so deserved it.
And it so definitely deserved it.
Underrated film.
This is one of the first ones I thought of picking.
Great pick. And the second you mentioned it, I'm like, yes.
Yes, you did.
Great pick. And even Bill likes it, coming from, Weekend at Bernie's. This is no Weekend at Bernie's, and Bill enjoyed it.
Picks are notoriously awful. Everyone says they're awful. That's all I hear is about how I'm right, you're wrong.
It's all right. I'm your elder. You need to respect your elders.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'm just kidding. It's Father's Day. Come on.
Happy Father's Day, guys.
Thank you, Mike. No, this is a great pick. Anything else you want to say about this one before we move on?
No, I think I'm all set.
That was awesome. So I chose a movie by Ridley Scott from 2005, The Kingdom of Heaven director's cut, specifically the director's cut. I think the theatrical cut is fun. I enjoyed it when I saw it. But when the director's cut came out, I said, that is a good, epic film. It's so rich. It's beautifully filmed and acted. And I have a clip if you would like to see it. Here's a clip.
We fight over an offense we did not give. Against those who were not alive to be offended. Who has claim? No one has claim. All have claim.
It's so good. I personally prefer this way over Gladiator, which I found it got a little hokey at times. I know it won the best picture, but it's a little cheesy. This is just such a fun historical drama. I think they try to be as accurate as possible while keeping it entertaining. It's so epic. They don't make them like this anymore. They didn't make them like this when they made this. So I was glad to see this. This movie deserves eyeballs on it, but make sure to see the director's cut. What did you think, Mike?
I thought it was much better than the original theatrical release. There were parts with Sibylla that made much more sense once you see the extended edition. Her motivations with her son, you only get bits and pieces of that, if I recall, in the theatrical release, but it definitely fleshed out a whole lot of the plot.
Yeah, it's much more emotional, much more powerful.
Well, what's the big difference? I watched both. What's the big difference? Well, I watched one in the theater, and then I watched this one, and I go, how's this different? What am I missing?
I think the initial theatrical release, which Ridley Scott has disowned, he wants nothing to do with that. Yep. It's kind of chopped up. It's not as smooth. That the character, the motivations are not as clear, like Mike just said. It still has amazing, stunning scenes, which we do see here, but they're fleshed out. The intentions are clearer. The characters are clearer. It's an hour longer. This one is more than an hour longer, I believe, than the theatrical cut.
Like 45 minutes, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So good.
Yeah, I think your pick was kind of short, though. I wish it was 6 hours.
I guess there was a 4-hour cut of this movie, which I guess they'd screened at like the Venice Film Festival. So that does exist somewhere. Maybe we'll get it. And then we can watch this back to back with the theatrical. So it's 6 hours.
Oh yeah. You do compare and contrast. Yeah. That's what it's
that way you'll get your answers that way, Bill. So what did you think of it, Bill?
Oh, well, I mean, I saw the original. I liked the original. I saw this. I go, oh, this is awesome. It's better than Gladiator 2. I love it. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I just didn't know what the director's cut brought. I go, oh, seems like the first film I saw.
When you watch them back to back, which I did then, I didn't more recently.
It's only been 20 years, so
yeah,
I don't have that sharp of a memory. It's very hard to find. The DVD is very expensive to buy. It's like $80. So if you go on Amazon Prime, you can buy it for cheap now.
There is a brand new 4K release of this. Came out like 2 weeks ago. Right now, it's impossible to find because it's sold out. People are selling them for $150 on eBay. But just wait a bit. They'll do another print. It's going to come out soon. The 4K. I'm sure it looks amazing, which I couldn't get because it was sold out. But Bill, what movie did you pick?
I picked the Laugh Riot called Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. It's from 1980, 1981. Takes place at a Japanese POW camp in the West Indies. It stars David Bowie and Tom Conti. Tom Conti is the star of this movie, man. He's unbelievable. I forgot how talented he was.
Yeah, definitely.
And it involves a newly established prisoner, and they are trying to figure out why he's so brave. And he puts the captors to test by his braveness and his chivalry, and everyone is trying to stay alive. Interesting note, the filmmakers were Japanese, except for Jeremy Thompson, and that's when you knew the movie was going to be good because he produced a lot of Bertolucci movies. I think he's British, and I was like, oh, I used to watch this with my dad when I was a kid. Has the only small complaint is the tons of wide shots. Like a lot of the movies, just wide shots. But David Bowie was unbelievable. And do you have a clip? Maybe
I do. Here is a clip.
Who do you think you are? Are you an evil spirit?
Yeah. And one of yours, I hope.
It's an interesting movie. I did not. I'll let Mike share his 2 cents on this, and I'll go into it after.
So right there, it's Captain Yonoi is so enthralled, is so enraptured with David Bowie. He is his evil spirit. He's Yonoi's undoing, and he is, I don't know if I could say it this way, but he is his white devil. And he's such a contrast to Yonoi, but Yonoi loves him. Yeah. It's a huge, I don't know if you must know this. And again, I don't know, my terminology is probably not going to be accurate, but it's a huge queer movie.
Yes.
But it's so muted, but they are both so beautiful. Their attraction to each other that they can't do anything about. For Yonoi, it's almost natural. For Bowie, it's almost natural. But for the whole camp, it's an unnatural act. The love too. It's there. They just can't do anything about it. And
it's a big LGBTQ movie.
I had no idea. This is a movie my brother loved when we were growing up. He had the soundtrack. I knew the music, and I'd never seen the film. And so this was an interesting pick, Bill. I think it's good. I didn't know what I was watching. I'm like, I was trying to, I guess maybe I was more distracted from the fact my brother loved it. My brother since passed. And I'm like, what is it about this movie that he loved? And I was like, what is it? Is it a gay love story? And because there was this other thing with this Dutch soldier at the beginning who he had a thing with a Korean soldier. So it's like, what's, maybe it's just me being dumb. I didn't quite know what I was watching, but the way you just explained it, Mike, kind of breaks it down for me. It's one of a kind. To me, it felt like a stage play at times. I think it became more theatrical as far as like a film in the second half. But I looked up, I'm like, was this a play? I guess it wasn't. It's an interesting film. There's stuff I really liked about it. I can't say I loved it, but I could understand the appreciation.
I'd always heard about it. I never watched it. And I was really glad to have the opportunity to see it for the first time because it was not all what it was the first time you'd seen it as well.
No, I used to watch it with my dad. My dad loved it. So my dad loved anything World War II.
It was not at all what I expected it to be.
Same here.
I'm so glad that I did. I've watched it 3 times so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I thought it would be more of a straightforward, soldier story in the camp, and it's not that.
You're in a prisoner of war camp, you want to hate Yunoi.
Yeah.
You feel sorry for him.
In those opening scenes, I'm like, what is going on here? This is not what I thought it was, but it's really good, really interesting.
He didn't speak Japanese. He said the words phonetically. It's crazy. They were shocked.
Oh, wow. He appeared to be so good. And like you said, he is the star of the movie. The poster doesn't tell you that. The trailers don't tell you that. He is the star. He is so good.
And so is David Bowie. Like, I thought it'd be stunt casting. He was a great actor, you know?
He was good, but he's very much secondary to Conti's character, who's the through line and the heart and the beating heart of this film. But it's good pick, Bill. Do you have anything else you want to say on behalf of your pick?
I wish it was 3.5 hours longer.
Which is 4.
Yeah. Well, combined with all of our picks, it's like 7 hours.
That was like
this was a
9-hour ejectable.
This was a commitment this week to watch all these movies, but it was good. So, shall we get to the point where we choose what movie we would want if we couldn't pick our own?
Yes, let's do that.
Mike, which one would you choose?
Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence.
Yes. I'm not buying alcohol for... No, that's fair.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to go with Jesse James. It's a beautiful film. I find it satisfying in every way, though I'm very happy that I saw Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence. So that's a good pick, too.
And I'm going to go with Roger Deakins and Casey Affleck for Robert Ford.
I don't blame you.
So, Mike, you know what you win?
Oh, no.
No, I don't. What do I win?
And a signed...
oh, wow. I'm going to put that over my bed.
You already have one. I gave you one, so I could get that free beer.
Oh, yeah. You can always have 2. Put one in the bathroom.
Signed headshot by Ian.
I'm so excited. It's like...
You can find these movies, Kingdom of Heaven. Again, you can rent it on iTunes and on Prime. Like I said, there's a brand new 4K Blu-ray. Go wait for that to reappear on Amazon. It's definitely worth the wait. The Jesse James movie, you can rent on iTunes and Prime, or you can find a Blu-ray of it. And Merry Christmas, Mr. Lawrence, you can rent on iTunes and Prime. And there is a Criterion Blu-ray of the film. So that's where we can find the movies. Mike, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. I really enjoyed doing this.
You better
Thanks
do
for
it
being
again.
on. You're awesome.
Yeah, appreciate that.
You still are awesome. You're going to continue to be awesome.
I hope I get better.
Ian, can you do that look from the headshot one more time?
Oh, yeah. Let me see. What was that? Hold on. Oh, yeah. I got a little older since then. Yeah. I don't have as much makeup at the moment, but thanks, Mike, for doing this. What's that?
Your frosted hair was very nice.
I might go back to that, though. I have a bald spot now, but you can't tell from here.
Oh.
I don't have a bald spot, everyone. Oh, here's our little exit song. Mike, stay around for 1 minute. Goodbye, everyone else. Like, share, tell your friends, and come back for our next episode.
Pop the popcorn, grab the Coke, and find that old VHS. We're diving deep in cheesy flicks. Yeah, we're on a vintage quest. Low reviews, but high on laughs. Let's give these films a cheer. The cult classics, flops, and nuts. There are topics this year. We're the Ejectables, rolling back the years, celebrating movies that no one else cheers. From backhand juice to epic fails, we say it's all good. We're the Ejectables, yeah, we're misunderstood.